and start.
Yeah, it's now recording.
Thank you. So, good morning. Welcome all to the webinar and start.
Yeah, it's now recording.
Thank you. So, good morning. Welcome all to the webinar
in this project. So for us, the way we see this is Cosmic is really the creation of this AI toolbox in which all the functionalities are integrated and we demonstrate its usefulness into different pilots and across multiple sectors. You can think of Cosmic as a project of projects because we're really not dedicated to one thing, but we have multiple objectives. You can go to the next slide. So our main objectives in this project is to optimize energy resources through AI developments. Again, these developments come from both the CTFs, our core technical facilitators that have already, you see here, many today, but also the work of SMEs and third parties into those developments. But these developments, they are not, let's say, kept in a void. They are implemented across 15 large-scale pilots, mostly with the purpose of enhancing this resource efficiency, aligning ourselves with the Green Deal of Europe. And finally, this is all coming through the Europe industrial ecosystem, trying to strengthening the position of Europe in the market of AI and data-driven technologies. So this is our objectives, mainly to create and develop AI systems, to implement them in real locations, and to strengthen our position. We're going to do this through three main activities. The first one is, as you see here today, this open calls, where we invite SMEs and mainly third parties to join us in our endeavor. As I said before, the implementation of these technologies into large-scale pilots. And finally, and also very important for us, is that this development of training materials, so that these things are not, again, just implemented in the pilots that we have, but that they can be used and reused and advanced and enhanced in the future. You can go to. So the way we try to work with our open calls, which is our main topic here today. We select the innovation through the challenges that the CTFs have for the different pilots. We've discussing them for more than a year now, first in our first open call and now guiding us through the second open call. And we fund with our Cascade funding the innovation of AI and data-driven solutions that startups and SMEs can apply and then join us in the different pilots. We test these solutions in the pilots throughout the different countries that are applying or that are already part of the Cosmic project. And then we scale up for long-term impact so that, again, these things are not left in a box to be used by no one, but they are better in the future. We hope that with these tools, we have a significant reduction in energy consumption, that we, of course, also create new industrial ecosystems, that there are new solutions to be implemented and new innovations that happen because of this. But there is also, I think, also more relevant today than it was when the project started, to strengthen our leadership in AI and data technology. These developments come from us and for us, and it's, I think, one of the key important aspects of this project. But we don't forget also that this aspect of results that also need to have the social impact for energy cost, reduction of energy poverty, improving the resilience, trying to make us more aware of the climate environments that we have at the moment, and also how to face the problems that we have. And finally, and also not to be left alone, the democratization of the AI market, allowing new companies to share and our solutions. As a big final description of what this project is. We have 21 partners across 9 countries. We began back in December 2024, and we'll be here working until December 2027. Here you have a small map across Europe of all the different pilots and the use cases that we have in each of them. So you can see that it spans from the very bottom in Seville to La Peranta in Finland. And this is mostly of us. This is a wide picture of all the partners that are working in the project. And we are very happy to welcome new incorporations to this. So as we go through the challenges, I will start as Sinitum. We will speak about the first 4 ones. For this first challenges, I would like to mention, you will see that the first 3 are all part of the same pilot. This is done in purpose so that they all work sort of in tandem. But also want to say very clear that the integration is what we will do, but it's not part of the challenge itself. So we have 3 different challenges for Puerto Baleares. The first one is the construction of a powerful digital twin of the port power that allows us to see the peaks and the visibility in real time of the flow of energy within the port. We try to have this replication model that also allows us to work not only here, but in other ports as well, closer to what an energy management system would be. And there I will just read the one-liner, which is for us the real definition of this challenge, which is a real-time digital twin that ingests heterogeneous data to accurately model power energy flows without requiring new hardware sensors. Basically, this big EMS for the Port Authority. For the second challenge, this comes mostly from the requirements of energy awareness from the Port Authority, that they want to incorporate new solutions, new hardware solutions, either it's PV panels or battery to their system, but they don't really know where to begin or how much to buy. They don't have unlimited budget, so simulated investment is always a good tool to have, and in this case is vital because they need to be very precise with their spending. So they need to know which systems to buy, and in the case, for instance, again, the PV panels or batteries, the size of these new assets that they want to incorporate. They have a rough idea of what they want and what they need, but they lack awareness, and also they lack the integration with the historical port data. Meaning, based on your past behavior, we believe that this would be the best solution in a combination, for instance, of PV panels or batteries. But again, this impact of new assets is not only limited to this, but it also goes beyond the scope of this PV storage solution. And finally, we have basically a big management system that tries to optimize the use of this new hardware and the EMS. So you see here how we start seeing the interconnection of the different challenges in this phase. But the most important thing again here is the incorporation of all the data coming from their hardware system, the sensors that they already have, plus the EMS system, so that there is an optimization tool that allows them to switch peaks and adequately adapt to them, which is basically their main concern, is that they have boats coming in, usually with huge electricity demands. They need to be able to use their energy sources, in this case, the renewable energy sources, as best as possible. And this is what this energy management system would do. It would help them in the optimization of their already existing tools. This is for the Porto Balears. Now we'll skip to a different use case altogether. This new use case is also based on one challenge that is currently undergoing on open call number 1, in which they have a system for predictive maintenance. Basically, what they had before was a system that would tell them where a PV panel, this is specifically for PV panels, is going to fail. With this system, they can now target the schedule of the maintenance of the different PV panels. But there is a problem with this, which is the problem that we handle here, which is the actual optimization of this scheduling. We know that there are PV panels to be fixed, but if the PV panel is if that can be delayed because tomorrow it's going to be a sunny day, for instance, and there's a lot of energy output that is going to come, then it's not efficient. But also maybe if they have to fix several in a while. So there are several optimization criteria that need to be met, basically based on fault urgency, logistics, and production downtime. Trying to optimize and to have the PV panel plant running as much as possible without compromising the maintenance of the PV panels.
So I'm taking over with challenge 20, data-driven behavior modeling. So the problem we are solving with this challenge is that, we're trying to solve, is that energy providers across Europe keep launching flexibility services. So think about dynamic tariffs, automated load shifting, demand response, and the uptake keeps disappointing them and us too. And the honest answer is that we don't really know why, because there hasn't been done a lot of consumer research that would tell us. And especially when it comes to vulnerable versus non-vulnerable households, for example, trust, fairness, perception, willingness to engage, or the actual engagement, we have no robust evidence base there. So we are looking for an SME that can build an evidence base. Concretely, you need to bring one of two things: either access or the capacity to collect a representative sample of at least 1,000 participants, or, and this is new for our second open call, an innovative, well-validated approach to using synthetic samples. So we opened the synthetic sample route deliberately because we know that there are some excellent SMEs out there who don't run panels, but who do work in simulation, and both routes would qualify for this challenge. So what your method would need to include is A/B testing or randomized controlled trial designs. Descriptive service on their own won't qualify in this case. And the content needs to be, of course, multilingual, at least English, Spanish, and Portuguese, because our free pilots span across those contexts. ARA is a social housing tenants in Seville. Porto Energy is a renewable energy community members in Portugal. And as a deliberate secondary case, Fidelidade are insurance clients, where we look at flood risk perception, trust, for example. And the methodology has to transfer across those sectors and not just working one. So really have a look at the different pilot cases and what they need from you as an applicant. And our ideal applicant for this challenge is either a consumer research firm that already runs EU online panels with, for example, discrete choice experiment capability, or a simulation and synthetic data SME that can defend their synthetic methodology against real anchor samples. And either way, you walk away hopefully with a reusable and transferable segmentation toolkit that could be resold to other adjacent domains. And from our behavioral science side, a few publishable studies with our support, of course. On to challenge 21. This is more of our public-facing challenge, and it's an energy literacy online game, just to read the title out loud here. And our problem here is fundamentally about literacy and energy literacy in this context. Integrating high shares of renewables into the grid requires household level flexibility and active prosumer participation. So an individual understanding of what is happening. But for most citizens, flexibility is quite an abstract concept, as you might imagine. And the link between what they do in their kitchen and the household and what happens on the grid is virtually invisible. And without public understanding, all the technical AI optimization solutions that Cosmic is developing simply is at risk at don't transferring into measurable sustainability gains. So what we are looking for is for a free open access multilingual web game that tries to close that gap. And here's also where I want to be a little bit more clear, because this is where probably most applicants will misunderstand the brief, possibly, because this shouldn't be a heat pump game. As you might have read, the pilot anchor is Daikin, yes, and heat pumps are one concrete example, but the required content is much broader, and we need players to understand renewable variability, demand response, load shifting, small-scale prosumer production, like a rooftop PV or grid resilience. And players should also be able to explore trade-offs between, for example, comfort, cost, emission, and grid stability, and see how their choices ripple through the system. We have two things that are non-negotiable. First, the co-development with Cosmic partners is mandatory. You also have like this mentoring through the process, and you shouldn't be building this game in isolation. So we pair you with Daikin for the scenarios and with us, Seeburg, for the behavioral science grounding. And within the broader project then for content validation. And second, what I really want to emphasize is that the impact measurement needs to be built from day one and not bolted afterwards. So the game has to be designed to plug into the Cosmic Impact Evaluation Framework. So we have to have a baseline of energy literacy, and then we can measure the energy literacy after playing the game, for example. So we can measure knowledge acquisition, behavioral intention, engagement, completion rates, and a lot. And for us, the ideal applicant is a serious games or a DTech SME with prior work in energy or sustainability content, and in-house or partnered behavioral design capability, and in the best case scenario, a track record of measuring learning outcomes and not just downloads. So bonus points if you've already shipped multilingual content and have a credible plan for keeping the platform alive after the funded period ends. Yes, this is our shared challenge with University of CV. So we co-lead this. The technical lead is the CTF, University of CV, where Raphael is, I think, here today. And Seeburg comes in as engagement partners. So if you have any questions about the tool architecture, that's UCE, and the social vulnerability and tenant side, that's on us. So maybe I'm just quickly introducing the pilot partner, and later you can take over, Raphael, and have your side on this. So the pilot partner is AFRA. It's a public housing agency in Andalusia, and AFRA manages more than 50,000 dwellings in Spain, but that's just the long-term horizon. The actual OC2 pilot scope is much smaller and also very concrete. We have 2 AFRA buildings in Seville with about 110 apartments, and to expect it is about 20% tenant participation, and that would be the real validation set. So the study needs to be designed around those numbers. And the problem that AFRA is facing, in their words, is fragmented data and time-constrained manual assessments. So they have the building data, they have social information, and increasingly they've monitoring data in a parallel digital twin, which is, I think, developed right now. But those worlds don't talk to each other yet. So if you have a social worker trying to decide which apartment gets which intervention this winter, it's essentially doing manual triage. So what we need is a decision support tool that fuses all these data layers and gives them a ranked and interpretable recommendation so they can really act on their daily workflow. And the architectural implication here is important because one day you'll have AFLA management data, billing data, social questionnaire data to work with. And over the course of the support program, more data sources will come in. And so the tool that is developed has to be modular and scalable from the start, so you can always source in the coming in data. And two more constraints are worth flagging. One, outputs have to be usable by non-technical staff. So the UI design really matters at least as much as the model novelty. And two, privacy by design is mandatory because AFLA tenants are a really vulnerable population, and the tool processes data on AFLA's behalf, and it shouldn't retain personal data on its own. So yes, Raphael, if you want to jump in on the technical side.
Hi everyone. I don't have anything additional to add because you have introduced everything. So the main idea, it's basically a decision support tool to help the social workers on AVRA to support their planning, their planning decisions of how to intervene in buildings and what to do. So basically is that because one of the struggle that everyone has is trying to assess or define a set of improvement measures in buildings, and sometimes could be very hard for non-expert persons to establish a starting point or priorities or a certain or a prioritization like a board in terms of ordering the interventions in terms of the priority and the effective and also considering its impact and effectiveness. So the main idea of this help is to help the social worker from ABRA on this part, on the decision regarding the energy efficiency in buildings.
Perfect. So maybe as a sum up, our ideal applicant would be a civic tech or gov tech SME, perfectly with some prior experience in shipping decision-making support tools to housing agency, public health, or social services, modular data fusion, strong UI, and ideally a prior collaboration with a public housing operator somewhere in Europe. So you have seen the realities up close, but that's just our ideal case. Don't hesitate to give in your application if you don't bring or if you don't check all the boxes.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
So then I don't.
Yeah. So, so this challenge is related to district. I would start again. So, construction company like Domaine Pierron Bâtiment in Belgium, when they buy a land and they design their real estate project, which might mix the residential, tertiary usage, they lack a tool that will allow them to compare different kind of scenario and sizing for all the technology that they will use for energy supply. So the idea here is Senaero, as a core technological partner, already have a multi-vector, multi-energy tool, sizing tool for this, but there is a lot of data which are input manually, and the idea here is to leverage the GIS data, which is available, open data, which is available, to try to see how this data could help to optimize here district heating and cooling network of 5 generations. So we are thinking data like, of course, building footprint, roads, road and streets, but also the already existing utility infrastructure, the ground composition, the ground usage, ground type, if it's water or, I don't know, concrete or rocks or earth. Energy density map, population map, all this kind of data which we could use to together with our tool to really optimize the network layout. So yeah, the idea is we are looking for a SME which is very I don't know, very good with GIS data processing and could leverage all this kind of data to optimize network layouts. I don't talk more. And so the previous challenge is related to the GIS data ingestion. Then we have the in-house tool which does the optimization. And then all this is done currently will be done deterministically. So you have just one value for all the different input. So the idea of this challenge is to see if someone could bring a AI machine learning based tool which will come on top of this, do a uncertainties quantification on different inputs, such as, of course, the demand, energy demand and the price. And yeah, the pipes reliability, pipes cost, efficiency, yes, all of different parameters, so that in the end we can have not just one value. Domain P1 will not have just one value, but
the biogas could be directly injected in the gas grid, but also could be used for in cogeneration, so to produce electricity that is either diverted to the electricity grid or used internally in the wastewater plant. And also there is a PV plant at the wastewater treatment plant that also produces energy. So there is in this problem we have different routes, so different production of energy and also consumption in different things. We have a variable market conditions, so where the prices when you buy or sell energy vary. So this optimizer is his objective is to produce the, let's say, day ahead scenario. So by having the forecasting of the production, the generation and the market, so to produce the best scenario for the next day, how to be operated the, let's say, the plant and what to do, if to sell, when to sell energy, when to buy energy, when to operate the cogeneration, in which mode, and this is the basically. So here again, this is a supporting solution. So for to be coupled with other solutions for optimization together with the digital twins of the anaerobic digestion and also the biological reactor. So from previous challenges, so here again the requirement is to deliver the solution as an open source. So probably basically as a containerized solution that could be integrated together with the CTF two, which is the big data analytics architecture provided by SME. So, and finally, we go to the, can we go to the next challenge? So next challenge 35 is for developing energy community marketplace. So it is an industrial energy community, which is for in the city of Granollers, for the business park. So that has a probably more than 50 different companies. This is one of the main industrialized areas around Barcelona. So in here, in Spain, there is the current regulation allows to share energy between producer and consumers in a radius of 5 kilometers. So there are a lot of companies that have a lot of roof space are installing PV generators. So and other companies have the goal to reduce their carbon footprint. So and the idea is to create a marketplace, so that sort of dynamic energy community where so the producers can place their put their energy generation capabilities and conditions, and also consumers, company that could consume this energy could also give their data and intention to participate. So, and the solution should find a match between the producers and consumers, and to produce a solution, let's say, and distribution of this consumer generated and consumed energy that produces best fit for the expectations of the producers that sell energy and those that buy energy. So in here, this let's say this coupling in Spain should be done. Let's say the sharing of energy is done by per plant. So this match should be done for each energy generation plant. So the generator should be coupled with different consumers. So, and here again, it should contain the solution requires the building of optimizer, so for association of the consumers and producers, and also to provide a user-friendly graphic user interface. So which is let's say has two sides. One is for the consumers and producers, let's say to have their individual dashboard there to visualize their participation and performance, and also let's say like back office for the market organizer, say to operate let's say the registered let's say producers and consumers and their conditions, and to ensure the sharing of data. And here again, so the same requirement is to deliver the solution as an open source software with respecting the performance conditions. So like to proven reduction of electricity costs, so increase of renewable energy, and also some technical performance parameters like time for convergence of the optimal solution. and these type of things which are described in the technical conditions. So if you have any further questions, we can address them in the Q&A session at the end.
Yeah, and before jumping to the open call, I think we can now review the in-stack challenges. Can you now, Alexander, speak up?
Almudena, hello.
Oh, Salvador. Okay.
Yes, I don't know what's happening, but thank you for going back. I had some technical issues. Okay. So hello everyone. Thank you for joining. I will be presenting the two challenges that Inestec is in a way sponsoring for this open call. So the first one is the energy bill large language model microservice. So this is a little bit it self-explains itself. What we are aiming to develop or to have developed is a small large language model that is fine-tuned to interpret the energy billing information. So the billing that is sent to you by your energy retailer. Due to the level of energy literacy of the majority of the population, it seems to be it is a necessity that we have to be developed, because we notice that a lot of people have a difficult time interpreting the different type of information that is present in these types of documents, from the tariffs, the actual prices, what's being charged, what's not being charged, and so on. So the goal is to develop the large language model. It should be small enough that could be hosted either on it should be locally hosted or edge hosted, ideally, but this is still up for discussion. What it shouldn't be is hosted at a third party different from, like, for example, let's say ChatGPT. It should not completely be based on those servers, because we need to keep the information private for the users. So that's the ideal solution, something that can pick up a PDF or a photograph of the document, and then enable the user to have a conversation with the chatbot, so it can clear any questions that it may have, if he needs to change his billing information or his contractor, and so on. For the second challenge, so this would be challenge 30. It's a renewable energy community discovery and onboarding platform. The way you can think of this very, very simply is like a LinkedIn for energy communities and energy community members, where energy communities can not only manage their actual users, the users that are there currently, but they can, for example, list the necessities for new users. So if an energy community is looking for a new user that has production capability, storage capability, consumption capability, or a certain level of flexibility at given times, and the same the other way around. So users are looking for a community that is trying to maximize independence from the grid, or is trying to maximize the storage or other aspects. So it's, in essence, it's a tool that lets users and communities better communicate between each other and find each other in the current status. It should be a web platform. The hosting is still up for debate where it can be hosted, but it should be user friendly. It should be simple to use. It should be almost like a social network, but for energy communities and energy community users. And then the actual fine details of what the information, it can be discussed, but it should be GIS informed. So it should have the geographic information of the renewable energy community. it should abide by the current laws for energy communities in Portugal and other European countries. So it's a ready to deploy product in other environments. Very succinct, very quickly, those are the two challenges. I think they are both very direct in what they are requesting from the third-party applicant. So both of them should require an applicant that has the capability in web design and platform design, as well as AI, because we are going to need some AI techniques for clustering, because it should also have capability to indicate. So if you have a profile as a community, or if you have a profile as a user, the web app itself should have a clustering capability. So it should be able to see if there are sufficiently coincident applicants in one given area to cluster them and form a community, and so on. So it should have an AI-informed recommendation tool to either look for users for the community, or the other way around. If you are a user, it should be able to look for communities for you. That's essentially for both of the challenges.
Okay, thank you very much. So we can now jump to the process of the open call. I'll be fast so that we can have enough time for the questions and answers. So the open call is currently open. We launched it on will be open until July 20th, and we will select up to 13 projects or proposals. We're searching for projects proposing to develop and test these AI-driven solutions or data solutions that will help us for energy resources optimization, right? And as mentioned by our partners managing the challenges, they should be integrated with the AI platforms, tools, and instruments within the project. What's in for the projects that we will select? There's the funding, of course. Projects can be funded up to 150,000 euros. It's a lump sum, which means we will not be requiring evidence of the cost and expenditures of the projects, but it will be based on a follow-up of the project progress via deliverables, KPIs, etc. And on top of the funding, the applicants will get the possibility of solutions into our tools and platforms to take part in the large scale pilots that we have in different countries and obtain the validation that it means. And also in the support program, they will get not only technical advice, but also business mentoring that will get them closer to the market readiness. So this is the open call timeline. So we will be having the deadline on July 20th. Selection process will be probably finalized by mid-September, and the selected projects will join the support program by mid-October. So who are we targeting? Who can apply? Any individual, SME, or startup. It means that we do not accept consortiums. Also, companies must be established, legally registered, okay? Where in, of course, EU member states, the overseas countries and territories, or associated countries to Northern Europe. Right? Please be aware that if this is a for profit SME, we will request them to be able to finance 30% of the budget of the project. So we will only fund 70%. For those which are not for profit, funding can be extended up to 100%. Okay. Of course, then there's the alignment with the project, right? So, which types of companies then are we looking for? Well, and this is tech developers, AI developers, green innovators that can provide feedback and provide work and be active in this area, in this domain, right? So what will be funded within the project? Of course, the solution development, the integration and facilitation with our tools and platforms, the testing and validation with the pilots, large-scale pilots, and the demonstration of this project replicability impact, to say so. On top of the formal requirements, being a company, being established in eligible countries, and etc., we will be very careful that the proposals we select are aligning with the project, with cosmic objectives, and especially with the challenges requirements. So we need all proposals to address challenge, only one. We will require them to have an European dimension, meaning by that it need to be scalable to other regions in Europe with different maybe laws or different cultural aspects. They need to provide benefits for citizens. Those benefits need to be measurable, and they need to contribute to these objectives of the EU Green Deal. So climate neutral and digital transition, right? The solutions proposed should be starting at a TRL 3 to 5. At least there should be a minimum experimental proof of concept already done, and then they should reach the TRL 6 or 7 by the end of the participation in Cosmic, right? So if you comply with all these features and requirements, you can apply at one pass until July 20th, as I said before. And before applying, you'll see that there's a lot of sorry, call documents that you can check. It's very important for you to check guides for applicants, which will explain you and guide you through the requirements that beneficiaries and proposals need to comply with. It will explain very carefully, or is explaining very carefully, the evaluation process, so that you understand what are we assessing when evaluating the proposals. And it will give you more insight about the support program. I'll go through it in a minute, but if you want specific details are also included in the and then the other document that you cannot miss is the technical guidelines. Technical guidelines include the description of the challenges. It's very important for you to understand what the challenge is requesting, what are the expectations, because as I told you before, we don't want a very good proposal, a very good solution that then we cannot integrate with our system, so we cannot test within the pilots, or that is not aligned with the challenges. So first thing, think a bit about which challenge we're addressing and which are the requirements you need to align with. Okay, so once the application is done, we go through a selection process. It has many stages. During the first check, we will check that the company is established, that it's in a legal country, in a legal country, sorry, that it has only applied for one challenge, kind of formal aspects, right? This will be checked throughout the project. It's not only once done. Initially, it's the first thing we see. And then we will undertake an in out of the scope check. And we will see here which of the proposals are aligning with what challenges are requesting, with what cosmic objectives are trying to get, and also with the needs and requirements that the pilot will have at the time of validation. After that, those that are aligned with what we want to do and can contribute will go through an evaluation. This will be undertaken by independent experts that will score the proposal. And then best scores will go through the consensus meeting. In the consensus meeting, the selection committee of COSMET will select the most promising companies, those that are better and better aligned with what we pretend to do. And then we will invite them to a jury day. In the jury day, there will be a face-to-face interview with the project selected or pre-selected to understand better the proposal, to be able to make questions and get answers. Right, and the ones selected in the jury day will undergo a formal verification, and if everything goes right, sign a subgrant agreement. Those signing the subgrant agreement will be invited to join the support program, which is a 10th-month program that includes these 4 stages. So there's an initial month for planning. This planning is drawn in the individual mentoring plans. And there's 3 months stage for the solution development. And there's 3-month stage for the pilot testing within the pilots in the project. And finally, the last 3 months are devoted to help you reach market readiness in terms of with this solution you have created and tested, how you can approach market in similar conditions that the ones we had during the testing period. So here you've got the scheme. As I explained before, the funding is released in the different stages because it's linked to the project's progress. So deliverables and KPIs validation, right? Yeah, these are the months as well. The main deliverables are stated here. So I think that this is it for the open call, and I'd like to have as much time as possible for the question and answers, because if you have doubts on challenges, which I guess is most important thing now, you can directly ask the partners. So let's check the chat and see if there are any questions here. Okay.
We already have one. We already have one from Josh regarding if the presentation will be sent to them. So yes, yes, we can confirm that we will send it to you. Okay. Vasilinka has shared another one in the chat right now. Another question. So can those 30% of co-financing be provided as in kind contribution?
Meaning by that you probably are talking about your main staff, workforce, PMs. Yes, you can of course cover this with 30%, but you need kind of to prove that you'll be able to have this person working this time equivalent to 30% of the budget of your proposal or project. Yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
they're asking us to share the presentation. So yes, please keep in mind that we will share the presentation, but also we are recording the webinar, as you know, so that this will be deployed on the channels. Okay, so you'll also have access to this recording via YouTube and other channels that we have available. Okay.
Thank you, Rui.
Any more questions? Can one participant apply for more than one challenge?
Yes, I mean, each proposal should target only one challenge, but a beneficiary third party and applicant can do three applications as a maximum, right? But they need to be two different challenges. I don't know if that answers your question, Robert.
Any more challenges? I'm sorry, any more questions?
I would encourage you to take the chance that our technical partners are here and ask about the challenges. Really is the most important part of the open call that you get the challenges right.
Yes. Um,
No, two SMEs cannot apply together. And they just need to be individual entities. So, sorry. And John, I don't know if I get the question. Okay, you need to see the fit with the challenges. So
yes, so let's speak with we have the technical partners. So I'm sure the technical partners can read also the chat. So we have John saying that he's developing a concept which can monitor all of the EV charging. It will also have peak shave, the charging and energy challenge. Is this of interest for you? The technical partner that works more with EV charging can come in and say what their thoughts is. Is okay. Right. Okay, so as we move forward, okay, what specifications are requested for no-profit applicants? Are there any limitations related to typology and for no-profit applicants?
they need to fit the SME definition. So even if you're a non-profit, you still need to fit the SME definition in the EU Commission definition. Yeah.
Okay.
Where can we find the technical specific in the coming platform we have to integrate with? This will be explained in detail to selected proposals when they are selected. By the moment being, you can see any information related to the challenges within the challenges. So within the challenges is explained which pilots you will need to integrate and validate, and if there's any specific core technical facilitator you need to integrate with or with, it will be also explained in the challenge. So read the challenge in detail. Implementation managed after the project because we already have some similar services and we're already selling them or want to sell them also to other partners. Okay, when a project or proposal is selected, we do a background, IP background agreement. And you can also sign individual IP agreements with the pilots or CTFs you're going to integrate with. As a general rule, IP always remains with the one which generated it. But yes, this is something that we assess and solve in a case-by-case basis.
Okay. We also have Kais. He's asking, could a participant be accepted into up to three different challenges, or will they only be accepted into the single challenge where they achieve the highest score?
The second, yes. Sorry, I forgot to say this before. You can apply up to three challenges. Only one application should be successful. So the one that is better scored within corresponding challenge. Yes.
Very good. I hope everything is clear. Are there any other questions?
Okay, if you don't have any other questions coming to your mind right now, we have many ways in which you can come back to us. We have a help desk. You have the email address in the slide, or also in LinkedIn or through website or in the application system. So yeah, we will welcome any questions. And I think that's all, Rui.
Yes, just let me thank you all for being here. Thank you all to all the participants, all the attendees, all the speakers. It was very nice to have you here. I'm just going to leave here the email from the help desk, okay? So that you guys, oh, sorry, I sent it to the wrong group, but okay, trying to fix it here, okay? Very good. But yes. Ooh, wait, sorry, late. Okay. And then yeah, I also have here and okay to everyone. Okay, so we have one. Okay. So Kevin was responding to Angelo. Okay, thank you, Kevin. This is the help desk that you have here, helpdesk.cosmic@funningbox.com. As Almudena was explaining, you also have the the Discord channel, okay? So the Discord channel is much more easier. So I would suggest like the Discord channel for more easy questions, okay, and more in-depth questions. Please use the help desk, okay, so that we don't want to also overwhelm both channels, okay. So yes, please do that. You have it here, and we hope to see your application soon. All right. Thank you very much, guys, and have a wonderful day.
Thank you, indeed.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
See you
Thank
soon.
you.